In part one of this series, we established two things. First, that the cybersecurity industry has no financial incentive to solve the problem it was built to manage. Second, that the same small group of institutional asset managers, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Blackstone, own simultaneously nearly every major vendor in the ecosystem. Today we go one level deeper, because owning the vendors is only half the arrangement. The other half is controlling who buys from them. What we are looking at is not a free market, it is a closed loop. Most people associate network marketing, also called multi-level marketing, with consumer products. The structure is familiar. A company recruits participants who are simultaneously customers and distributors. They buy the product, they sell the product. And critically, the people they sell to are drawn from a captive network where switching to a competitor is structurally discouraged. The genius of the model is not the product, it is the architecture. Once you are inside the network, exit becomes costly in ways that have nothing to do with whether the product actually works. What the major asset managers have built in cybersecurity is a version of this model, operating at institutional scale, with one critical addition: the participants do not know they are in it. Here is how the loop works. A large asset manager, call it Fund X, holds significant ownership stakes in dozens of companies across multiple industries. Some of those portfolio companies are cybersecurity vendors. Others are hospitals, manufacturers, financial institutions, retail chains, logistics companies, enterprises of every kind. The cybersecurity vendors in the portfolio need customers. The non-cybersecurity companies in the portfolio need to demonstrate to their boards, their auditors, and their insurers that they take cybersecurity seriously. The path of least resistance in that environment is not an open competitive procurement process. The path of least resistance is to buy from a vendor that the fund already endorses. No one issues a directive. No memo is circulated. The steering is structural. It flows through board composition, through preferred vendor relationships, and through the shared infrastructure. BlackRock alone holds 5% or more in 95% of all S&P 500 companies. That is not an investment. That is a distribution network. The mechanism becomes even more visible when you look at the technology infrastructure these funds operate. BlackRock runs a proprietary technology platform called Aladdin, Asset, Liability, Debt, and Derivative Investment Network. It generated $1.6 billion in revenue in 2024. Aladdin provides a common data language across portfolios and powers a whole portfolio ecosystem across public and private markets. It is used by more than 150 of the world's leading financial institutions. It is hosted on Microsoft Azure, and Microsoft, as we established in part one, is the largest cybersecurity vendor on earth. The customer, the vendor, the platform, the infrastructure, the compliance framework, and the capital allocator are all nodes in the same network. This is not a conspiracy, it is a system. And like all systems, it does not require anyone to behave badly. It only requires everyone to follow their incentives. What we are describing is not a novel theory. It has a legal name. It is called common ownership, and it is currently the subject of active antitrust litigation. In November 2024, 11 state attorneys general, led by Texas, filed a federal antitrust lawsuit against BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, the Big Three. In May 2025, the DOJ and the FTC filed a joint statement of interest. Their statement made the legal principle explicit. They do not protect the use of commonly managed stock in competitors. Peer-reviewed academic research found that the proportion of U.S. public firms controlled by institutional investors who hold positions in the same industry grew from under 10% in 1980 to approximately 60% by 2010. Research from Harvard Law School found that under common ownership, competing firms are effectively allowed to enjoy the quiet life, maintaining higher prices because the common owner profits from stability. In cybersecurity, the quiet life means keep selling subscriptions, keep the problem chronic, never build the product that ends the market. Here is the board meeting that is not happening. The CISO presents the annual security review. 48 tools deployed, compliance scores improved, 3 incidents contained before escalation. The board nods, the audit committee signs off. No one on the board asks, who owns the vendors we are buying from? No one asks, does our institutional shareholder also hold a position in the company we just renewed a $4 million contract with? No one asks, is our procurement process actually open, or have we been steered into a vendor ecosystem that benefits a shared ownership structure we are not aware of? These questions are not being asked because no one has explained the architecture clearly enough to make them obvious. That is the purpose of this series. The board has been told it is running a competitive procurement process. What it is actually running is a destination purchase inside a closed loop, paying full retail price for symptom relief. The cybersecurity industry is on course to reach $500 billion in annual revenue by 2030. The cybercrime it fails to prevent costs the global economy more than $1 trillion every month. The architecture-level solution to this problem, the one that actually closes the attack surface rather than monitoring it, exists today. It has been independently validated. It does not require a subscription, which is precisely why you have not heard of it from the institutions that manage your capital. Charlie Munger's test is simple. Show me the incentive, and I'll show you the outcome. The incentive was never to solve your problem. The incentive was to own every company that profits from your problem remaining unsolved. Now you know. Click below to learn more and join the mission.